Hey everyone, Arglefump here with the latest chapter of Miss Clue, Crew's Most Deadly. At the end of the previous chapter, Jane drowned to death. Well, as it turns out, she didn't really drown to death. She gets saved at the last second by somebody surprising.
Ron!
Jane!
Yes, it's Ron! Who is this guy again? I don't remember seeing him before.
How did you get here? And how did you find me trapped in the tunnel?
I was flying home about 3 weeks ago and had engine trouble. Fortunately, I spotted this island and managed to set the plane down. As for finding you, it was pure luck. I was exploring this new cave I found and heard tapping on this trap door. When I opened it, there you were.
Aha, so this is Evelyn's long-lost brother, and long-lost, I mean he's been gone for like a month or so.
You've been here 3 weeks?
Yes, I checked out the whole island when I was first stranded, but haven't been back over to this side until today. Lucky for me and for you, too.
Definitely for me.
But how did you get here?
It started when your dad and Evelyn had not heard from you for some time. We decided to take the Wander out for a shakedown and head over to Sydney. We encountered a storm and smugglers and ended up stranded here on this island too.
Evelyn and Dad are here too.
Yes, but I just discovered that today.
What?
What? Yeah, that's quite a coincidence that, the smugglers took us to the same island that you were coincidentally stranded on.
When the storm hit, we were being pursued by smugglers. I was below deck securing everything when I hit my head, passed out, and fell under my bunk. When I came to, the Wander had washed ashore here on the island, and I found in your dad's journal that the smugglers had taken him and Evelyn captive.
But you say they're here now.
Yes. Evidently, this island is one of the smugglers' bases of operation, and the smugglers locked them up here. I just found out where they are being held and was heading to get them out. The smugglers are supposed to return tonight, so we don't have a lot of time.
Well, what do we do now?
I have this map which I think shows us where your dad and Evelyn are being held. I managed to communicate with your dad by tapping on a pipe using Morse code, and they are both unharmed. Let me show you on this map. Okay, I think we are about here. It looks like there is some type of hidden or special door here. The trick seems to be that you have to activate the door from this spot and this spot at the same time. I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to do that, but with both of us, we should be able to make it work.
I think you're right. This looks like quite an elaborate layout the smugglers have here.
Alrighty, so now that we have Ron in our party, we can save the other Barclays.
I think this is the way.
I'm right behind you.
Okay, Barkley. Woof woof, Barkley.
I'll look for the keypad on this side of the door if you'll check the other side.
So that passcode was 8751?
I found it.
I've located mine too. What's next? Do we enter the codes at the same time?
Yes, that's what it looks like on the map.
Or was it 8571? I don't know. 8571.
You've done it!
Woohoo! Oh, wow. That is crazy.
Let's find Dad and Evelyn.
Right behind you, Ron. Okay, so...
Hey, over here. I found them, but we need a key to get this door open.
On my way!
I don't think you can really explore this area. I think no matter where you click, you're going to end up in the exact same spot, which is the doorway. The doorway that we're trying to reach. Okay, so we're going to have to figure out which key opens this door, and I've got a ton of keys, so this could take a while. Okay, let's try this one.
Not this one.
Ow, darn. Okay, scroll back through my inventory. Okay, now this one.
One of these simply has to work.
Yes, it simply has to.
Not this one.
Okay, this one.
One of these simply has to work.
Oh boy, this is fun.
Let's try again.
Really? If it ends up that none of these keys work, I'm just gonna, throw my computer out the window.
I've got it!
Woohoo!
Jane, I'm so glad to see you.
Aw, hugs! Oh, don't get that
Ron,
close to me.
Where did you come from?
Are you all right, Evelyn?
Yes, we're fine, but how did you get here?
I was flying back to New Zealand and had engine trouble and landed on this island about 3 weeks ago. I just discovered that Jane was here, and since then we've been working to get you out of there.
I can't thank you enough for rescuing us.
If we don't want this to be a temporary rescue, we're going to have to act fast. The pirates are returning tonight.
That certainly is a problem. I would suggest we try to retreat and hide out, but I know they'll come looking for us once they see that we are gone.
I've made a couple of discoveries that might give us a way to fight back.
Sounds good to me. What do you have in mind?
Aw, it's so nice to see the family reunited again, and I feel really pressured when they're all staring at me at the same time. It's like way too much pressure for me to handle. Anyway, the rest of the video is mostly going to be us talking to the Berkeleys here. We're going to be talking to them about our plans and how we're going to stop those smugglers for good.
Well, first we have to find a way to disable their ship and then capture them before they can mount an attack on us.
Having been aboard their ship, that is going to be a tall order.
Yes, there are quite a few of them.
We have a couple of strategic advantages. When the smugglers came to make certain the lighthouse beacon would be functioning, I overheard them talking about the beacon being remote controlled using the radio.
I think I saw one of those beacons advertised a few months back.
Good contribution, Ron.
Yes, the beacon seems really new. I considered disabling it, but then I realized that would just delay matters and they would be sure to know I was on the island. The smugglers' plan is to come into the cove at night to hide out and refuel after plundering a cargo ship carrying a bunch of gold dory bars.
They're taking a lot of dory bars out of the Golden Mile mines, so that should be quite a haul for the smugglers.
But then I had an idea that might work. Behind the lighthouse there is a hill called Lookout Point that rises to about the same height as the lighthouse. The entrance to the cove is fairly narrow. I thought if we moved the beacon from the lighthouse back up onto the hill, it would lure the smuggler's boat onto the rocks at the base of the lighthouse.
I think that might work. I've seen the cove and the lighthouse, and the captain could easily end up with a ship on the rocks if he thought the lighthouse was where the hill is.
The beacon is powered by pressurized oxygen and acetylene tanks, but I think you and Mr. Berkeley could easily move them.
That sounds like a workable plan, but then what do we do when the smugglers storm ashore?
Yes, the last thing we need is that bunch of angry smugglers after us.
I think I may have a way to handle the smugglers. It all depends on what the mechanical problems were that forced Ron to land.
The problem is fairly simple. I have a split in my fuel line. But where are you going to get a new fuel line on this island? And not to mention, I need more gas.
If that's the only problem, I know where a crate full of what looks like fuel line is located. Also, I know where the smugglers' fuel supply is hidden, so we'll have no problem with gas for your airplane.
Well, now that that's solved, what's the rest of your plan?
The final part involves a mixture of kava kava and acetone, which is supposed to make dream gas, according to a book I found named History of Japanese Pirates.
I've heard of that. It's supposed to have been very effective.
In my exploring the caves used by the smugglers, I found the ingredients needed to make dream gas and have a number of beakers ready to use. I had thought to use them as a last resort if I was found by the smugglers.
You really have been busy, haven't you, Jane?
Oh yeah, I've been very, very busy. I've been a busy little bumblebee.
It has been hectic and a bit scary, but now that I have found all of you, things are looking a lot brighter. The last part of my plan is to wait for the smugglers to wreck their ship, and then go up with Ron in his airplane, and as the smugglers come ashore, drop the beakers from the plane on the beach, putting the smugglers to sleep.
That might just work, and while they are asleep we can tie them up. The only problem I see is how to manage them long term.
The good news is the Wanderer was washed up on the next beach over during the storm, and appears to be undamaged. The only difficulty is that the smugglers broke the radio tubes when they took you and Evelyn captive, so I haven't been able to call for help.
That's great news about the Wanderer.
I know we don't have much time, but I thought it might be worthwhile to at least check out the labels on the crates in this storeroom and see if there is any radio equipment here.
Okay, let's split up, gang, and give this warehouse a quick once-over.
Alright, gang, we'll split up and search for radio tubes.
Nothing back here.
So I'm going over here in my inventory to get the crowbar.
Same over here, nothing.
We'll need that to open up some of these crates
No
here.
luck so far.
So I have to wonder, what have Evelyn and Mr. Berkeley been eating? Because there's nobody else on the island who's been feeding them for the past 3 days.
I think I have something here. I'll pry off the lid and see for sure.
They didn't have Marmite sandwiches to eat, so, what were they eating?
There's a good chance these will work. There are ones that are commonly used.
Okay, I have a couple of the tubes, and since I know the quickest way back to the Wanderer, I'll take these and see if I can get the radio to work and contact the Coast Guard. It's a long shot, but it's worth a try. Meanwhile, Mr. Berkeley, if you take this wrench and go with Ron to the lighthouse, you could move the pressure tanks to Lookout Point and have Evelyn bring the beacon.
That's sound planning and a good start on capturing those smugglers.
Okay, I'll rendezvous with you at Lookout Point as soon as I find out if I can get the radio to work.
Let's get going.
Be careful, Jane.
I will.
Okay, good job, team. Good job. Okay, so we all split up, and fortunately, I don't have to go all the way back to the Wanderer. The game automatically takes us back here. Saves me about 10 minutes. Thank goodness. Okay, so we get rid of those tubes, and we replace them with our new tubes. Yay!
Well, they both fit. So far, so good. Now to put this back in its place. Excellent. Now let's see if it works.
So what you want to do here is toggle the volume switch in order to turn this thing on.
Stellar. Let's see now. While this warms up, what was the frequency for the Coast Guard?
I think it was... Whoa! Doesn't matter! That is the end of chapter number 12. I found Evelyn, I found Mr. Berkeley, and Ron, but will I be able to fix the radio and call the Coast Guard before those evil smugglers appear? Find out next time in Miss Clue, Cruise Most Deadly. The Capture. Ooh, they even have a title for this chapter. Ooh, fancy, fancy.